Welcome to the Transformational Coach podcast with me, Rhona Barton, giving you competence with confidence. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Transformational Coach Thoughts from My Sofa podcast. It's great to be back with you this week, and I want to start this week by saying thank you very much and a very warm welcome to all my new listeners. It's lovely seeing that we're now across a variety of countries. I think there's 11 countries at last count. So welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining me and being part of the growing community. I hope you are enjoying the content. Please remember you can contact me and let me know your thoughts and opinions on anything that we discuss. And for now, let's jump in to our next session. This week, we are looking at Love Yourself, part of our Authenticity series. And I want to start really by thinking about what that actually means. I mean, when we look at, ways to learn to love ourselves, is it our actions more than our words that we need to think about? It's easy to say that, you're happy with yourself, that you love yourself, that, you're satisfied with the way your life is going. But do you really mean that? When you stop and think about it, do you believe that we do love ourselves and that you do love yourself? And do your actions and reactions tie in with that? Or are they perhaps your actions and reactions working against that belief? For me, I think loving yourself is an essential part of your personal growth to help you really reach your goals and your dreams and your ambitions, and to help you develop positive, happy, healthy relationships with other people. So instead of just talking the talk, why not walk the walk? So how specifically would loving yourself transform your life? And what stops you from loving yourself fully? Now, when I think about this, I like to think about when I love myself and I do what makes me happy. It's really about caring about me as much as I care about other people. Not necessarily putting other people first. It's not selfish or self-absorbed to want to take care of yourself. And if you think about it, especially I guess if you're a parent or in a caring sort of situation at the moment during this pandemic, you're potentially putting a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of you into looking after other people. But if you don't treat yourself kindly or treat yourself the way you would treat your children or your best friend, then really, where do you stand in being able to give of yourself to others? If you're not looking after yourself, how can you look after other people? And there's a good phrase that talks about, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And what are you doing to replenish your cup so that you are able to continue to offer yourself to other people in their times of need? So care about yourself as much as you do care about other people. And that means being able to maintain your own boundaries, set those out, sort of set out your stall and say what you're willing to do and what you're not, where you draw the line, and get comfortable around saying no to people. We've spoken about this before. Just being able to say no and knowing it's a complete and 100% appropriate sentence can be quite empowering. So learn where you're willing to bend your rules, but don't break them. Make sure that you set your boundaries and stick within them. As well as that, there are occasions where sometimes we just have to, if you like, bite the bullet or grin and bear it and just get on with things. So sometimes we need to just do what we need to do. And that's okay to an extent. For example, you maybe have to go to your job that you're not necessarily loving at the moment, but you still need to pay your bills. So you do that. You do what you need to do to make sure that your lifestyle that you're used to, that you're accustomed to, is maintained, that you have your basic needs met. But don't forget to do things that make you feel good as well. So you need to be able to figure that out. So do you feel exhausted at work, but, invigorated and energized when you're working in your garden, for example? Do you get real joy and pleasure out of reading to your children, or are you fulfilled by writing poetry or volunteering for an organisation? What is it that makes you feel good, and how can you do more of that in your life? Give yourself permission to do what you enjoy. You will feel better when you do things that you enjoy. You will replenish your energy. You will feel more fulfilled. And in doing that, you will be able to feel more confident in yourself and like yourself more. And when we like ourselves, we attract similar people to us, and they like us, and it can open more opportunities in our lives. So give yourself this opportunity to develop a sense of accomplishment and pride in what you're doing and who you are as a person. And please realise that you're talented, you're worthy, you're capable, you're a lovable person, and you deserve to be loved by others as well as yourself. So, how are you already lovable and worthy of love? And do you have any negative associations with loving yourself that you need to work on to release? How can you begin to love yourself starting this week? I don't need to say it again. I love a list. Add these things into your notepad. They can be simple things. They don't need to be anything big and audacious and, earth-shattering. They can be small things that you can build into your everyday life. They can be things that make you happy. It could be baking a cake, for example, or taking a yoga class, or, speaking to a coach. Hint, 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 get in touch. As I've mentioned, it could be something as simple as learning to say no. Don't expect things to be perfect. We've spoken about this before as well. We're not looking for perfection, we're looking for progress. So small, bite-sized, manageable chunks that you can be working on to help yourself love yourself as the person you are now. Learn to have fun by yourself. Learn to forgive yourself for your mistakes, Give yourself a bit of a break, especially in the current atmosphere. So what are you going to do for you? And when are you going to get started? You might have things in your mind that you want to think about and talk through. Feel free to drop me a message, send me an email. I'll pop my contact details in the show notes below this episode. And let's see if we can get a time together where you can really begin to think more about you and your needs. In the meantime, as ever, please look after yourself, continue to stay safe, and I look forward to speaking to you next week. Bye for now.